Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Slimming Surgeon podcast. I am your host, Dr. Kandace Kichler. Today, we have one of my pro tip guru, wonderful, in my back pocket at all times, best girl ever secrets here. This is Kathleen Van Vorst of Societe Salon. She is the owner. She has over 20 years experience as an elite stylist. Kathleen's career has been multifaceted, covering high fashion, editorial work, all while receiving countless awards and recognitions, including the prestigious Goldwell Color Zoom Finalist Award. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds super important, and I love that for her. She has had and continues to receive extensive training in education, styling, cutting, coloring, all from across the world. Kathleen's passion is education, and upon completing the prestigious Aveda apprenticeship and creative training program, she has gone out to mentor countless other artists through a full-time associates program that she created more than 12 years ago. So in 2022, Kathleen opened an elite L'Oreal salon, Societe Salon in Palm Beach Gardens, which is where I found her. And she can be found there practicing her unrivaled hair artistry while also educating and leading an artistic team of motivated and talented stylists. And I can attest to all of that. Welcome, Kathleen.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel like that was such an introduction. Like, I hope I can live up to all of those things. And when I think about it, God, that happened fast.
I know, right?
Like 20 years. Wow.
We're not that old though. We're like 22.
Babe.
So we started when we were 2.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
So was it 20 years ago when you started doing hair? Like, what's the backstory?
It was definitely, well, it was at least 20 years ago. I mean, I was 12 in my mom's kitchen. And I think around that time, my mom had just turned 40. So all of her friends were some were getting divorced, right? So they all needed a blowout and flat irons were just made. So, yeah. So it was a big thing. They would come to my house and I would blow dry and flat iron their hair before all their dates. And I got paid $10 a blow dry.
That's actually a good deal. I mean, for you, I feel like $10 at that time.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Money in the bank.
It was great. Yeah, no, it was absolutely fantastic. So I started there and then I finished high school and I was lucky enough to have a mom who immediately told me, you need to go to cosmetology school. She had a, vision for my life that I don't think that I definitely couldn't see at that point, but it was pretty amazing. And, after messing up some hair in the kitchen and
I know that was like when hair straighteners went to like 700 degrees and you were like frying people's hair.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you weren't using like a real iron, right? Like a clothing iron.
Yes, I did that.
I know.
Between a towel.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I know.
It's all coming back to me.
I know. Yep. So yeah, that's what happens when you talk about 20 years ago. So.
Okay. So what is your favorite part about being a stylist? We're going to kind of go into being a stylist, being a business owner, all the things, but what's your favorite part about being a stylist?
Oh gosh. I think that transformation, the amazing thing that I get to do for women, and I get to talk to people all day. I mean, I've had clients for 20 years. So I get to see them, go through divorces and marriages and, all the life things, and all the while making them feel beautiful and look beautiful. And yeah, it's been a journey.
Sitting in your chair is like therapy. I mean,
yes, that's what we are. Right.
Yeah.
And you get all the things from sitting in my chair. I love to talk about all the things. And that's why I think I've, developed such a great client base, is because I get to talk to 10 to 12 women about all the things that they're doing.
I know. I feel like even if I don't want to really talk, because a lot of times I'm going to the salon to just decompress. Mm-hmm. Obviously we're there to get the job done too and keep this hair blonder than blonde. But even if I don't want to talk, I enjoy just listening to you and hearing about your life and what's going on with you and your family and your business and your kids. And it's just such a positive space, both your chair, but the whole salon, which is,
thank you.
I feel very hard. I feel like that's very hard to accomplish, I've been to many other salons in my life, and I never felt as home as I did in yours.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it is really hard to accomplish. And one of the things that I'm so passionate about, which is why I opened Societe, because, the floor is just this amazing creative space in a salon. And I learn more from the 22-year-old that I've just hired out of school than I do on Instagram or watching a reel or doing hair. It's just this incredible creative space. And if we all work together and we, develop this wonderful environment, it works really well.
I love that.
Love it.
And also it just happens to be like incredibly beautiful. So it's like perfect for photos, perfect for content creation.
Yes. The lighting was a major thing when we decided to open. Yeah. So that forward facing lighting coming right at you is really good.
So nice. When did you get I would say like the guts or the motivation to, really do this on your own? Cause I feel like that could be very intimidating, and stressful for someone who's a stylist to kind of take that next step and be the business owner.
Yeah. I mean, I think I went through a lot in my stylist career to finally get to that point. But I think I was educating already behind the chair. I had associates working with me. And when, there's this moment as a stylist where you kind of turn the client in the chair and they see themselves and they have this moment. And that's the best moment to get on film, by the way. But when they see themselves for, the first time with extensions, or you've, brightened up their face and they just feel beautiful, that's such an amazing moment as a stylist. That's it right there. But being an educator and a salon owner, when you watch someone that you have grown and they're standing behind the chair and they're in it and they're owning it, and you can watch them like either cutting hair or coloring and they're feeling it and knowing it's going so well and having that confidence, that became my moment. And I knew there was nothing that was gonna, like, I can do amazing hair all day, but nothing fulfills me like that moment. So I knew then that I had to open Societe, and I was ready in my life. It was a good time in my life. I have a wonderful, amazing husband who is very emotionally supportive.
Yes.
And
that's key.
Yeah. Oh, you have to have it. So, and he firmly believes that I am the most amazing stylist he's ever met. I mean, he doesn't really know, right? He's a guy, and he's a guy's guy.
Same.
Right?
Yeah. Like, I'm the best plastic surgeon in the world.
Yeah. And we need that, we do. Yeah. We need someone behind us telling us that we're incredible. So, having him behind me to tell me that I'm incredible. And, that was kind of the stepping stone. And then back to my mom, she sat me down in May of 2020. And I remember the conversation, and she said, "You're ready." Mm-hmm. And so from that point on, that's when I started working on it. And then we finally opened.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Once you kind of know it's time to do something, I'm the type of person where I'm going to do it no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah. Nothing's going to stop me.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the same.
Yeah. There was no room for failure. It just wasn't going to fail. There was just no way it could, because I was too invested. I'm too passionate. I'm too obsessed. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to be the best. Like, you have to be obsessed with whatever it is. And I was just way too obsessed with it for it to not do well.
Right. One of the interesting things that you told me one of the first times that you styled my hair was that you really get such a fulfillment out of seeing women or men stylists get to that 6-figure mark. And I thought that was incredible. Like, you don't realize what goes into being a stylist, or how much money they make or don't make or whatever. And like, you being able to say that you do that for other people, I thought was like, wow, this is really huge.
So we opened Societe, and there was a stylist that I had shared some clients with. And I called her when I opened the salon, and she didn't know me other than the fact that my clients would go see her sometimes and they would see me. And I called her and I said, I opened the salon. I know so-and-so's clients. Will you come, at least interview with me? I would love it if you would come work for me. Well, she was unhappy where she was, and she came over and we sat down, and I showed her my plan for how I was going to get her to 6 figures. And she hit that. last
Amazing.
month. And it's been just over a year and she hit that. And she was like kind of not rolling her eyes, like, but she was like, okay, whatever. And I said, I promise you, I am good at this.
Yeah.
Just trust me and we will get you there.
Like, I want to work for you. I believe.
It's so crazy. But yeah, right. So anyways, so now she's there and we have a couple other ones that have been there, and then we've got some more that are on their way. So that is that 6-figure mark as a stylist, and then the sky's the limit.
Yes.
You know, you can do anything from there. And that's what I teach them. Whether you work for me or you go work somewhere else or you work for someone else, I want you to be happy and I want you to be able to be creative in whatever that space is that, you know, you're in. But you can take all of this and everything that I have taught you about how to do that, and you know, nobody can take that away from you. No matter what, you're always able to hit that mark.
Incredible. It's like, you need to teach a master class, but you need to charge for it. Okay. But you've talked about all the good things. Like, has there been drama? Has there been turmoil? Tell me, give us a little bit of the juice.
Oh yeah.
And why it's so good to be where you are now versus maybe where you've been.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of toxic salons out there. I'm not a salon jumper. I worked for salons for long periods of time, but it can breed these really toxic environments. When you put a lot of artistic people together and a lot of, you know, catty women, you can breed these very toxic environments. So yes, I've had my fair share of bullying and definitely been bullied and, you know, told that I was never good enough or I wasn't going to be good enough. And it wasn't until I started to believe in myself and, you know, started to believe that something could be different.
I am such a believer in that self-confidence, and I mean, I don't like to use this term loosely, but like the manifesting, like your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. Like, if you believe they're going to happen, they're going to happen.
Oh, 100%.
Period. Like
100%. Whether
it's through God or through whatever you believe, like if you've got that energy and that momentum, it will happen.
Yeah. Whatever your higher power is, you know, you definitely have to. But yeah, I've seen my, you know, craziness. I've worked here in Palm Beach Gardens for 20 years. So
The crazy of the crazy.
I probably know everyone through 2 degrees of separation, right? When I opened the salon, when I transferred my client list over to the new system, there were 600 clients in my list that I had done in the year and a half. So I had seen 600 people in a year and a half. And you know, in Palm Beach Gardens, you know, in our small little bubble, I'm probably 2 degrees of separation from everyone. So I have seen or know a lot, right?
Right. So how was it to build your team? Like, you talked about bringing on, you know, the great success story you just told us, but what about everybody else? Because I feel like it takes a village. Like,
it totally takes a village.
Because even the front desk is so important.
They do not all fit. I mean, it's not one size fits all, right? 30, 60, 90, right? 30 days,
what? Tell me this. Tell me this formula.
Yeah, 30, 60, 90. 30 days, you know, you learn a little bit. You get to see their representative. Within 60 days, you start to see like the major issues that you might have later. And within 90 days, you know.
Yeah.
You know, is this person going to work or are they not going to work? And that's kind of how I evaluate it every single time. 30, 60, 90. And some of them only make it to 60 and some, you know, get past 90. It's just how it works out. But I've had stylists come in. The manager of the salon is actually a girl who came in as an associate. And she was my associate and she had started working for me. She was with me for about 6 months. She became like my personal assistant. Yeah. Like, loved just taking care of everything in my life. Like, that fulfilled her. And I was like, okay, so I think you're in the wrong role. Like, I really feel like we need to talk about you moving into a management position. Now she was just discussed by our regional L'Oreal rep as being one of the best managers, you know, she has in her high-end L'Oreal salons because she is young, she's fun, she retains information, she's positive, you know, she doesn't have much else going on besides working, right? Sure. She's not married. She doesn't have any kids. Yeah. It's the perfect scenario for me.
Oh my God. I need one of these. I need a Sarah.
Yeah, we all need a Sarah. That's what we say. Yes, we all need a Sarah. She's amazing.
So, hard question. How do you deal with turnover? Because isn't turnover like, you've mentioned this before, maybe a big thing in the salon space.
It can be. It definitely can be. Like I said, somebody's not going to be the right fit. And I will, I have those deal breakers where I'm like, okay, I know this isn't going to work for me. I don't do the catty drama, toxic environment. If I have too many dramatic episodes, you're out the door. I don't care what you bring in. That to me, it doesn't matter. My work environment, my space means so much more to me than that. As far as stylists leaving, I will compete with every salon around the corner about creating the best, most enticing work environment to work in. I think we currently do more social media than any salon in the area. And that has changed the amount of new clients we have walking through our door dramatically.
Right.
We saw the smallest lull I've ever seen in a summer season this summer. And I think that that's a lot attributed to the social media and the collaboration, right? I'm constantly collaborating with amazing personalities like yourself. Right. And that, that in itself, You're
working even when you're not working.
I'm working all the time. Yes, I'm working all the time.
I know the feeling. And I found you guys through social media. Like it works. It works.
It works. And it doesn't drive. Like, I think people they forget, they're like, oh, well, I'm not, they're not DMing me or I'm not getting it. That's not what it is. It's the name recognition, right? So they have to see your name 3 times and then they're going to find you on social and it validates. Okay. It immediately validates what you're doing. And that's what happens. So they look at it and they're like, okay, well, I'm choosing this place immediately.
For sure.
Yeah,
exactly. Like it was a no-brainer for me. Like, I think you guys had almost just opened. It was really early when you guys opened, but you already had video, you had pictures before and afters, you had your name, your brand, your reputation. And I was like, okay, this is obviously where I need to go for my hair.
Yeah. No, it makes a huge difference. Social media, and it's changed the game. When I didn't start out with social media, this was 20 years ago, right? I started doing hair. So I came up at a totally different time. So I've had to learn over the last year and fail drastically. I can remember, I don't know how you do it, but sometimes taking videos of yourself is exhausting.
Cringeworthy. It's so painful. I just stopped caring.
I know.
I still need to use a filter every now and then because I'm like, okay, my complexion is horrible right now. Maybe I'm dehydrated. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep, whatever it is, but you got to just push through, not think about what you are seeing, because 99% of the time, the person watching the video is looking at something completely different. They're actually listening to what you're saying, or, you're focused on your eyebrows, but they're looking at your hair. It's really not about you.
And it's being authentic, right? So the thing that's selling right now is the consultations. That's what we're doing on social media because it's authentic, what they get to see and what they get to see of you and being authentic. And that's what we did when we did the consultation with you. We were really authentic about it.
Yes,
that's what everybody
loves.
Was
real because literally you're like, okay, we're going to film this. I was like, okay, we're going to film this. And it wasn't rehearsed. There was no practice round.
No, I told you I wouldn't talk to you about it before. I said, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to do it real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People want to know the real, situation. They don't want to have the curated version.
No, they don't. And they want to see you be real. Listen, I've struggled with the social media and I've had to say, okay, I'm done today. I cannot give you another video. I can't. Now I can do it and I can film a reel in 15 seconds and in and out and I'm done. Yeah. But like you said, the power of yes, right? We say yes. You just do it.
Right. Right. So how do you kind of coach your stylist on this? Because I also, there are people that work with us in the office and some people are really hesitant to jump into the social media space. What are your thoughts and how do you encourage people? Because it's so important.
It is so important. Okay. So we lead by example. So I think that is the biggest thing, right? So I'm doing it all day and I'm consistently expecting them to do it. I don't allow for them not to do it.
Yeah.
You don't have that opportunity to say, I just don't do it. Well, then you really don't work for me.
Right.
So because
maybe this isn't the right place for you.
Yeah. Because it doesn't fit the vision that I have. And I have noticed because it's become so easy, now filming content and they've gotten so used to it, it's not a big deal. But when I meet with other people like yourself who discuss the issues that they're having because I started the business on this platform, I don't see as much of that issue.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's like going in, they know that this is an expectation.
This is it. Like, right. you have to do it. You have to be a part of it. We film content together one day a month.
Which is not labor intensive.
No, we film content together one day a month, and then 2 to 3 days a month, we have someone who works with them individually to create some sort of reel. The algorithm on Instagram has changed drastically, and TikTok and all of that has changed everything. They want 6 seconds and they want it fast. They want it quick. They want to, that piece of information, they want you to give it to them, immediately. Otherwise they're swiping right by you.
Right.
So creating those are really easy. And they can also tell where you film the content. They can tell that you're still in that same space when you upload it. Mm-hmm. So us learning all of that too. And
wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is crazy. Yes. So they know where you're filming and if you're uploading it in real time versus later. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course they know because they know everything. Like they know what color my underwear are right now, but
they want to keep you on the app, whatever the app would be, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, they want to keep you on the app. This is what I have learned from, our experience in it. And my reels that are close to 1 million views are all the ones that I have posted within 24 hours in the same space that I have filmed them. Most of them are done with an iPhone, even though we have a fancy camera. And it's a relatable content that they are then sharing with someone else.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. The pro tips with Kathleen. Jeez. We have a masterclass in progress. We have social media courses in progress. No, this is amazing. And that's, going into kind of my next question, like you do a lot of teaching, like you teach, stylists, you also kind of teach business, you teach real world work ethic. It's obviously not just part of being the owner anymore. It's something that you really enjoy. Is that right?
Yeah. No, teaching, education is key, right? Education is everything. We're not going anywhere unless we're getting educated. And I do not know everything, and I'm learning something every day, and definitely not afraid to fail. But yes, so I am teaching. I am L'Oreal's new educator starting next year for 2024, which is an amazing accomplishment for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's an amazing accomplishment for me. And so I'll start educating for L'Oreal in this region, not just at my salon, but doing other things. But I also educate doing extensions and all of the above. Okay.
We're going to talk about extensions. I am obsessed with my extensions. Like it was at first just a thought. And you know what sold me? I'll tell you. I walked into your salon and you have that beautiful glass cabinet with
oh my gosh.
Do
you want to talk about? Okay. All of you need to Google Khloe Kardashian's extension hair closet, because that's what I built.
What?
Yeah. And I was sitting there and I was manifesting how I was going to display extensions, because the sale is seeing the hair.
For sure. And that's what sold me. I was like, that hair in that cabinet is so pretty.
It's so pretty.
And I was thinking whose hair is that? Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of got little labels on it, which I'm sure is the color. But I was like, I wonder if that's Jessica so-and-so's hair or
no, they are people's
Roxanne's hair. Yeah. Whose hair is that? Yes. I want that hair for myself.
Yeah.
And then it made me ask the question. Right. I was seeing Logan at the time and I was like, Logan, what do you think? Should I get extensions? Me, the bob girl for 5 years. Yeah. That was my signature hair. Yeah. And then,
it's a game changer.
You guys made me jump off the cliff.
And I don't see how you're ever going to go back.
I'm not.
This is... You're sold. You're sold. Because this is such an epic look for you. And once you have them, it's so hard to explain to someone that more hair is easier.
Yes. No, it is for sure. I don't really think about my hair that much.
Style it way less.
Yes.
It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do to it, in a messy bun on top of your head, more hair looks better.
It just looks better.
Yeah, it does. And it's beautiful hair, right? So it hasn't been through all the things that our hair has been through.
Right.
Yeah. And not all the sun exposure and the babies and the hormones and all this stuff. So the extension hair is, it's organically sourced and, but it's beautiful, beautiful hair. So it's easy to style and deal with.
What are some tips to maintaining the life of your extensions?
I feel like definitely the sun exposure is a huge one, right? Trying to keep it out of the salt water, the sulfates. that just extracts, right?
Yeah.
That's what salt does. So, and we're right here in South Florida, so that's a little difficult for people. But I think not going to bed with them wet. actually blow drying them every single time you get out of the shower, just because you're like smoothing that cuticle down and you're just not getting that breakage that you would be getting otherwise. So
I've never not dried mine.
Yeah. And you just have to make sure you have a really great stylist who's helping you with them and who's just a phone call away. You know, extensions they become part of you, but you're also then kind of, you know, you and the stylist are linked together because you need them. You know, you need your stylist to take care of them, right?
Exactly.
So you become, you know, very dependent, you know, on each other. So you just make sure that you have somebody who's dependable and great with them and knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
For sure.
Is there anybody who would not be like, is there any situation off the top of your head that would be like a no-go for extensions, like certain hair types or certain colors or, you know?
I think, you know, the way extensions are made now, there's so many different types. There's like 4 different types of extensions. I think if you're way too fine up top, then you know, use a topper. Right. Okay. You know, and that's a whole other realm, which is just amazing, you know, alternative hair, you know, but no, I don't really know any other, you know, unless they were too fine on top, almost everyone can have one of the different types of extensions between K-tips, I-tips, wefts, hand-tied, you know.
We're not going to get into that. That's like another language to me.
I know. It's another language to everyone.
Basically, you need extensions. That's the summary of this part of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Yeah. No, we all do. Yeah, we do. They're a game changer for sure.
So let's talk about some crazy hair trends.
Okay.
What are you seeing any crazy trends right now?
Well, I think it's just we're just going so back into the 90s and we can see it in the clothes, right?
Oh my God.
Mean, the little wrap skirts and the Janko jeans and like we're just,
cargo jeans.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where we're going. We're just going back into that era. So we got to think of stuff that happened in the 90s and then we're going to put our own spin on it, right? So we're talking the blondes that we've been white are going gold. And
I know. I'm not going to do it though.
You don't have to, you know, but you're a beautiful beigey blonde anyways. You're not like Ice Queen white,
right?
You know, but yeah, so the blondes are definitely going more gold. They're going more solid. Everything's going closer to the root again, which we've been so lived in for so long.
Yes.
So now it's coming back up to the root. So we're going to, you know, there's a new spin on the Rachel haircut, which was like the most influential haircut, right?
Yeah, like of all time.
Of all time, which I cut.
If you didn't have the Rachel, you were a loser.
Yeah, exactly. So there's this new spin that I've been seeing on Instagram and a lot of the girls, and it's a bob shape, similar to a lob, but definitely more layers around the face and so much volume.
Yeah, I love volume.
I love volume too. I mean, listen, it just makes us feel smaller and thinner. And no matter, if I gain 5 pounds, I'm immediately with the bigger hair. Like I am just like, okay, I can't wear my hair flat and straight. It has to be big.
Well, and also the higher the hair, the closer to God.
Yeah, definitely.
That is a truth.
It is.
Why do you think Dolly Parton is still thriving?
Oh my, yes, she's doing amazing. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I want to just make sure we hit everything. Okay. Balance. Do we have balance? Probably not.
Oh God. I feel like I can talk about balance with you. I was trying to think actually earlier, like who do I know who is as driven and doing probably as many things as me at around my age? I know you're younger than me, but I
don't know. Am I?
I think you are.
Okay.
Well, see, there you go. We don't really know, but I definitely think you are. We're not going to say, but I really don't know anyone who is besides you.
Yeah.
So we can definitely talk about balance.
Which is such a compliment.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know if I have much balance. I try pretty hard. I have a little bit of a better balance now, but like I said, I have a really emotionally supportive husband and it takes a village at my house. Mm-hmm. And I cook dinner on Sundays. That would be the only day of the week that I
don't cook dinner. Are you crazy?
Right?
I used to.
Yeah.
Before I had kids.
Yeah.
And now it's like just trying to make sure they're organized and they're getting their dinner. And yes, it would be wonderful if I could make them an organic home cooked meal every night, but that's just not possible.
It's not possible in our lives. And something's got to give, right?
It's more important for me to walk in the door and look them in the eye and give them attention than it is to run to the stovetop and cook, because if I'm cooking, I've got to pay attention to that. I've got to watch the burners. I've got to make sure I'm mixing it right, where it's like, no, I need to give my boys attention, my husband attention, and then breathe at some point.
It's quality over quantity.
For sure.
Of time that they get with me. So, I try and spend as much quality time as I can with my kids. I'm lucky they're a little older now. I have 11, 12, and 19. I actually have 3 girls, Lord help me, and I employ 15 women. So it's a lot of women in my life. My poor husband, we have 2 male dogs. So
the only testosterone.
Just to level it out a little bit. But balance is really hard. It definitely takes a village. But I think when you're obsessed with what you're doing and you just keep pushing forward. I mean, I wake up every day and I try and do the best I can every single day until I literally can't do anymore and I'm done. Yeah. And then, but not every day's a win.
They're not. And that's life.
And listen, I get home, I go through my incredibly messy garage because, who
cares about the garage?
Right? Like, let it go. Yeah. Right. And so that's what I'm doing. Letting it go. There's a lot of things that you just let it go.
For sure. For sure. No, I know I'm the same way, but I have, what I have loved lately? I will give you this little pointer. I love making my bed. Like something about coming into our master, or you can't call it a master anymore, but coming into our owner's suite and the bed being made in the evenings it's just like a Zen moment. I'm like,
it is. Oh. You don't feel like you're getting into a pile of dirty clothes.
Right.
Right? Like, don't you feel like it's just a pile of dirty clothes?
Yeah. And everybody has that clothes chair. So you got to just like look past the clothes chair, look at the freshly made bed.
Yeah.
And then just that's my little moment. I love doing that lately.
We all have those, and it gives us control when there is zero control in the rest of, our life. And I will get home after a rough day where, I got it from all angles and I'll just start like ripping apart a drawer and put it back together. And the rest of the kitchen drawers are a mess. But this one just made me feel good.
I love it. That is so good. Okay. So let's talk about your surgery.
Yeah.
You've been so open and transparent, and that is amazing both for you and for me because people are getting to see all sides. They're getting to see what it's like, from a surgeon's perspective, the consultation, my thought process to your decision making. When am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Is this the right time? So kind of just talk to us about what made you decide to have plastic surgery and what you had done.
So I have some, issues with my body. We all have our little things that we don't love. And I really feel like I just love this time in my life in my 40s. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to wait. I'm like, no, I'm definitely not.
Right. No one wins a medal for waiting to have plastic surgery.
I don't understand why women are like, I'm just going to wait. I'm like, what are you waiting for? To get older?
Yeah.
Like what? No, we're going backwards here. I've also seen enough women in my chair that I love the ones who do a little bit along the way.
Yes. You look more natural that way.
Yes. You look, yes. Yeah, you do. And so I get to see it and I'm in your head. So I get to see like all the things. So I basically know, everything when they're in my chair. So anyways, so I decided I, had some things that I didn't love. And I reached out to you and I said, let's film this. So I came in and I had a previous stomach surgery. So I got to work one day and I went to go put on a color on a client and I looked at myself in the mirror and my lips were blue and I wasn't feeling well. And I ended up in the hospital that day and I had an exploratory laparotomy. And so they cut me open right in the middle of my stomach. And so I had this really bad scar right in the middle of my stomach, right down my belly button. My belly button literally was a sad face. Like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It was like, it just
downturned, upside down you.
Yeah, it was such a sad face. And, So I really went to Kandace to try and figure out, okay, what can we do? And my stomach wasn't bothering me as much as my thighs, my knees, my back. I just feel like I had lost all this shape. And no matter how much weight I had lost or how much working out I was doing, my shape just wasn't changing.
Right.
You know? So, I came into you, and at first we sat down and I was like, okay, we're going to do some liposuction and some fat transfer.
Right.
And we decided, I think we met in June. Was it June?
It was early. It was like April, which is why
That's so crazy.
No, I looked at the chart. We met for your first consultation sometime in April. And I even looked at your first video. And then you've continued to get in shape. Like your life is just like moving and grooving and booming, and you lost more weight, different things kind of shifted. And so we regrouped back in, I think, July.
Yeah.
Because your surgery was early August. And I was like, you know what? I just don't think our initial plan is it. I'm the first to admit, if I'm not feeling a 100% about something, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because your results are my name.
Yeah.
And it was so important for me that we did the right thing.
And honestly, that's what I loved about coming to you. And I have such respect for that because I do that behind the chair. So I tell you if I don't think something is a good idea. So when you sat me down and you're like, okay, I really feel like we should think about a tummy tuck here.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing the lipo and the fat transfer. And you explained it to me, you're like, you don't have enough fat.
Right.
I'm
you lost weight from the first consult to the second. Not dramatic, which the scale didn't show dramatic amount, but it was the body composition.
Yeah.
The places where you lost the fat was where good fat would be for transfer.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, you don't have it, know? So
yeah, definitely. So no, I immediately trusted you, and I kind of went into that consult because we do see each other every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I had known. And so you had said to me, all right, well, we're going to reconsult about this. So I kind of knew, and I didn't ask
shrink and
further questions. I didn't ask further questions every time I saw you, but I did, tell my husband, okay, we might be changing things. I just want you to know, before I came in. So I was prepared, but I trusted you. And then I came in for the surgery, and you guys are going to die when you see my before and afters.
I know, I can't wait.
It's unbelievable. And the swelling just keeps going down and down and down. We're 2.5 weeks?
Yeah. We're not even a month out.
Yeah. We're definitely not even a month out.
Which you're, for everyone listening, you had a tummy tuck with some liposuction of certain areas to contour and to shape what was bothering you. And 2.5 weeks, you are pretty much back to work. I don't want you doing sprints and marathon training at 2.5 weeks, but you're at work, you're functioning, you've got your energy level. How would you say? Medium, high, normal?
I feel completely back to myself now. I would say after that first 7 days, I still had some rough energy, but I'm a high energy, you know, I'm a doer anyways,
right.
I'm not a sitter. So it was very hard for me to sit down. As far as pain wise and the actual surgery, I found it to be the most painless. I have to tell you, I don't know. Maybe it's the amount I do all the time, but I found it to be so easy. I do it again in a minute.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I really did.
And I always have moms who are really worried about the pain. And I'm like, honey, you birthed a child.
Yeah, nothing
is going to compare to that.
Nothing is going to compare to that.
And I've had a C-section. I had a natural birth and then a C-section. And the pain from a C-section, there's no way it's the same because I'm working above your muscles.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm tightening them if we're doing a tummy tuck, but it's not the same as cutting through them.
No.
To get inside your abdomen.
It's literally totally different. And the healing time is such a difference because I had that exploratory laparotomy where they cut through everything.
Yes.
So I remember that.
Yeah.
And this was nothing compared to that. And then the aftercare, you had me go see the massage therapist, who's amazing, by the way. She's done such a great job. And then all the stuff you've had me do with the shapewear and all of that, that is so huge. And I talked to other women who have had tummy tucks and other procedures, and I don't think that they felt like they got that aftercare or were encouraged enough on that aftercare. I feel like that's a huge missing piece for
sure.
women when I've talked to them about tummy tucks. I really do. And I think that, that shapes everything so well. Like it moves the fat where it needs to be. It moves everything.
It really does.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm a big proponent of massage and fajas. I call them fajas, shapewear, whatever you want to call it. But
it's fajas.
It's true. I mean, listen, you look around, we're in South Florida. You see the bodies that look really good and you see the bodies that look so-so. And guess what? The bodies that look really, really, really good, not only did they have really good work, but they also put in that aftercare. They went to their massages, they wore their fajas. They're probably still wearing their fajas on certain days. I mean, I wear a faja and I've never even had plastic surgery. And I had my breast done, but I haven't had my body done yet. And it's so important. It really does help. And it keeps the inflammation where the inflammation needs to be or helps it go way faster. And I like to see a good after. So why not?
I could not agree with you more. Like, and going in, and when I went to the place to get the faja, I just have to tell you, I mean, she brought it into me and I mean, it was like this big. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It looks like it's for a Barbie doll.
You're freaking joking. Like you're joking. Oh my gosh. Those reels on Instagram where you get like the little tiny tank top and you're supposed to like put it on and it like sucks you. Yeah. Like, I mean, it was like so small and I was like, no, it's just not happening. And she's like, okay, keep going. I'll come back. And like, she should just leave. Come back. And she'd be like, okay, yeah, no, keep pulling it up. No, you're doing good. All right, now try and get it over your butt. Keep going. And I was like, well, I'm buying it because it's just never coming off.
Right.
Like I told her, I was like, that's your reel right there. Like I am buying this because it's never coming off my body. I'm never going to get it off.
I love
it. Yep. And then once I got into it and I was like, okay, yeah, you're kind of right. I'm so happy. This woman knew. It took me, I would say the better part of 20, 25 minutes to get it on, like the first time,
right?
The size that she had me in, and she knew the exact size, at that point that I should be. And wearing it every day has made such a difference. It also makes you sit taller and stand taller, and you can't overeat because there's really not much else that's going to fit in there.
Also why I wear them. It's like
it
really
stops
important.
you. Yeah. It stops you from overeating. I think I do. I think it's really, really important. Yeah.
So tell me about did you take pain medication for how many days? What was that after the first 7 days? Like what was rough? What was not rough?
I think I took pain medication for like 3 days. And then like after that, just at night, to sleep, like just to be sure that I would sleep. And that was about it. But definitely during those first couple of days, like I was, taking a pain pill here and there.
Right.
I mean, you can ask Sarah, she'll tell you because she got some crazy texts from me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
But yeah, no, definitely during those first couple of days I did while I was just kind of, lounged out in the recliner and, chillaxing. And then, after that, just at night.
I love it. You're a great success story. I mean, you're not even healed yet, but you already look amazing. You're doing amazing. You're following all the instructions. And what I think you've already emphasized, but what's so important to me is that we have this open line of communication.
Yes.
So when you need me, I'm available. When I want to check on you, you respond, you make your follow-up appointments. That's so important to ensure that you have a great outcome, is that not only do you trust who's doing your surgery and that you have a great procedure, but it's all the care around the actual surgery itself.
Yeah. And can I like just discuss also, like, you're a woman who is beautiful and gets it, right? Like, I mean, we can say that, right? I mean, I think, I'm like, okay, I want to look a certain way. I think it's a little strange, depending on who you're going to. I know you get it.
Yeah.
And we can have these conversations.
I get it because I want to look that way too. I 100% understand. I know. Today, for example, I had a consultation for a girl with, external genitalia issues. She wants a labiaplasty. It's bothered her for literally 20 years. How is she going to tell, this is going to be sexist, but how is she going to tell a man what she wants her vagina to look like?
Exactly.
You can tell him, but he's going to think what he wants to think and what a guy maybe wants to see or not see.
Exactly.
And I just
understand. How does a guy know about wearing a faja? Right?
They don't.
They're never going to know. They're never going to know what it's like. Right. Yeah. So,
I get it. I get it. That's why I'm here for you and for everyone. So I was actually going through some of I have this I'm a big notes girl. Like I use notes on your iPhone for so much.
Yes.
Like
yes.
my brain is here. All my passwords are here. No one hack my phone because you'll have my life.
I share all of them with my husband. He's on the same note that has 500 passwords in it. Nobody steal my phone. But
exactly. But anyways, I was going through the other day because I had to add something to my branding note, and I saw a quote that you told me, and I was like, oh my God, we should bring this up. So you said one day I forget what we were talking about, but you said you have to be in the room.
Yeah.
It was about like associations and people. Like, can you expand upon that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like, I just want to be in the room. I want to be in the room with whoever is having the conversation. You know, and for me getting to be part of the conversation. So, Palm Beach State actually reached out to me. They have a cosmetology program, and I'll talk about being in the room. They have a cosmetology program there, and they needed to revamp it. And they actually pulled in, other salon owners, and I was so excited to be in that room with all these other salon owners and get to like group together and talk to all these other salon owners. To me, that was just so exciting. But to get to be in the room with people that inspire you every day. I mean, and I get to sit with you. I mean, some of the most amazing people that sit in my chair. I mean, you know, I learned so much from you guys. And that's what I talk about, like being in that room.
Right. To reach the level of success that you want, you've got to at least get your foot in the door and be in that room. And
if you get the invite, show up.
Yes.
And when I say show up, like you show up.
Yes.
You know, listen with intent and you respond, you know, and you look the part and you're there to talk to people.
100%. And another thing that I love that you say is that the people at the top aren't fighting. You know, they're not like competing. They're collaborating.
Yeah.
Obsessed with that. It's so true.
It's so true. Right. So anybody who is you're never going to have anybody criticize you who's doing more than you. Right. Like I'm never going to criticize you. You know, anyone who's doing less than you, they are going to immediately criticize you. And in this can go back to balance, right? A lot of people have a lot to say about the amount I work, whether it be my family, some of my friends who are, you know, now not such a big part of my life. Everyone has something to say the better and better and better that you do with your life. And just remember that when somebody tells you something negative or, you know, they have a problem with the way you're leading your life, ask yourself, are they doing more than me or less? Right. And if it's less, maybe don't listen to what they have to say.
Exactly. It's more from a place of insecurity, most likely.
Yeah, definitely.
And feeling like they're not doing enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
We're here doing the most. And
well, I don't know. Not every day's a win. That's another one that I say.
It's true. But collectively there are wins. You know, it's that compounded effort. Like you may not win every single day, but if you're trying every single day and you're putting in that one more every single day, it's going to accumulate and 100%. You'll reach where you want to go. So love it. This has been amazing. We've talked hair, we've talked business, we've talked life, we've talked plastic surgery. Like this is basically one of my favorite episodes already.
Well, thank you.
I want everybody to find you. So give us your handles. Like, what do you want? Where do you want people to find you?
Instagram is at Societe Salons with an S, SOCIETE Salons with an S. And that's the same. Our website is www.societesalons.com.
Amazing. And then you have a private one too, or your personal one.
I do. I'm Kathleen Suzanne Van Vorst. I'm on Instagram. That's my name on Instagram. And all of you can follow me.
So come see her if you're in South Florida, especially for hair, all the things. And she's going to be doing lots of speaking, lots of teaching. So look for her just on the big stage in the stylist world, and send us DMs. Please leave me a 5-star review. Leave me comments, questions. We're happy to be here and to connect. And I think that's it. Thanks, Kathleen.
I loved being here. Thank you so much, Kandace.
Yay.